Yo, welcome back to some call late. Yeah, boy, I finally cleared it. I finally got 3 stars. I had to borrow someone's UCL for this. I had to borrow a Mr. Ronin from a friend, but here we are. Perfectionist. I set out for a goal and I got the goal. Yes, this, oh no, these stages. Oh no. I don't know how I'm going to tackle these. They are difficult. Very, very difficult. I'll have to strategize and think about how I clear those stages myself. But yeah, the event is more or less ended. Everyone else is just exchanging what little clues they have left right now. I have a couple of clues left myself. As you can see, I have some of these C6R1 chips that a lot of people are pining for. I also have some of these, and some of these. I haven't found a friend that needed them yet. I guess the people in my friend list more or less already saturated and completed their picture. There's nothing much left to clear there. Oh, pain. Oh, pain. Okay. My base is coming along nicely. As you can see, my triangle production is increasing like mad. My circles has gone down a little bit though. Mainly because I changed one of my circle producers. Well, technically I changed 3 of my circle producers into this. This large device reduces the amount of triangles eaten per hour down by 24. So I'm gaining an extra 24 while gaining these circles here. Not as useful as this one, and not as useful as this one. This one in particular is extremely useful. As you can see over here, all circle productions in the room are increased by 3.5%. So while it buffs itself, it also buffs everyone else inside of the room, which is really nice. Unfortunately, most of my devices over here are self-serving. This one reduces the amount of what's that called? Let me see. 原料机器能量消脱. This reduces the amount of triangles eaten by each circle rather than producing the amount of circles that you produce. Interesting, but not quite what I'm looking for at the moment. That one increases self-production by 25%. This one as well. I don't know why all of my I don't know why most of my high-producing purple makers are selfish, in that they don't buff the board, they just buff themselves. It's kind of sad, you know, loner life. Not feeling very well today, but I managed to clear the goal I set out to do, and I'm very pleased with that. Feels good. Feels really good. The problem with this is that when you get to this level, this high, each of these buffs are possible. You could reduce what's that called? You could increase self-production by 3.2% by 32. So you make 32 more circles. You could reduce the amount of let me see. This one helps you to increase the amount of triangle productions by other triangle machines. So you want to place this in a room full of triangle machines. This one increases circle machines, similar to this, but increases circles instead. This one increases self-production by 35%. 35% of this is slightly more than 32. I think. Yes, I think so. Oh, feeling a bit drained. Aren't we all though? 当前工作室所有能源机器产出 increases all this one increases triangle production by 4 per hour. This is a set. this increases by percentage. Percentage works better when you have higher rarity machines, whereas set numbers work better when you have lower grade machines that don't produce that much. So ideally, when you get to this point, you want percentage based machinery. These are the best. I'm not sure if there is a system to re-roll some of the buffs that these machines produce, but if it does exist in this game, I would be very happy. I would be incredibly happy. Like re-rolling the RNG bonuses that you get is incredibly powerful and incredibly satisfying. This one reduces the amount of triangles this machine eats up by 32. Very selfish, but that's fine. This one reduces all triangles eaten by every machine in the room by 4. While this one reduces by 32. If you don't have a lot of machines inside of the room, this doesn't reduce that. This one would be better. If you have a lot of machines, let's say you have 15 machines, this one will reduce triangle consumption by 60. So this is obviously much better. This reduces triangle consumption by percentage. Percentage wise versus this, I'm not sure on this one. I think they're very close, but there are semantics differences, I suppose. This reduces all of the machinery inside of the room by percentage instead of reducing it by a flat amount, as you've seen above. Basically, every buff here is meant to help the room in some sense or form, but there are buffs that are worth keeping and there are buffs that are not worth keeping. So when you are planning out how to build your base, be sure to keep that in mind. That being said, let me just give an example. I have over here 2 tier 5 machineries. This one increases the amount of high the amount of high grade orders that I can have a day, basically. This one, however, reduces the amount that the self consumes. In a large room like this, well, this room is relatively large. It's not as large as the very first one, but it's relatively large. But in a room like this, where there are multiple machines, it's better to have a percentage bonus. So this machine is scheduled for removal soon. Once I get 2 more of these tier 5s, I'm going to convert the three terrible tier 5s into a tier 6, just like you. And hopefully that will increase my production in the long run. Moving along to triangle production. Triangle production is fairly straightforward. There are no intricacies here or there. There are no intricacies here and there. It's just, manufacturing. It doesn't really change much in the grand scheme of things. This is a tier 5. I don't know how I ended up with it. Oh wait, I remember. One of the high quality orders, the one I'm tapping on right now, the one you can see on the triangle here. Yes, this one was giving me some of these machineries as well. You can see over here that there is a higher percentage chance to obtain this and so on. I managed to get one of these, I believe, from one of the gachas. The base is quite interesting because it offers resources, but I don't think it offers that much resources. I mean, when you think about it in the grand scheme of things, the orders that you can apply for here, half of it would be, well, technically more than half of it would go towards machineries like these. Will go towards machineries like these. So basically, you can make a large number of them, and this has a very high percentage chance of occurring. So you get a lot of these machines and a lot of these tier 1 grey machines that you eventually have to upgrade to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, and then eventually hit the rainbow tier 6. Tier 6 would obviously be the best, just so you know. I think it's fairly obvious. I don't have to explain that, but I did anyway. Anyway. Right, team upgrades. How I managed to clear S6-8 was that I raised Hei Liang over here to 90, getting her third flash card, letting her come back onto the field much faster, as well as buffing the amount of damage that she can deal with each bomb. You as well, what's that called? What was your name again? Herlai, yes. You as well, you got a chip that increases your base damage by 12%. The reason why you have a skill like this as opposed to the earlier chip is that your scaling is much how do I say this? Is much more efficient compared to yours. You deal 455 damage, and you're at 752, which brings you up to around 3000 damage. Slightly over 3000 damage, but your radius is very small. So although it's great and all, although the damage is great, the circle of fire is fairly minimal, whereas you have a radius of 3.5, which makes you ideal for dealing more damage. You are able to deal 430% damage of your attack, which is 548. It looks lesser here. It does look lesser, but not only that, if you pay attention over here, the health translates into attack power, the defense translates into attack power, and the arts translates into attack power as well. That's a specialty of specialists. It's that they're able to convert some of their other less useful statistics into attack power, and it's this amount of damage at the cost at a DP cost of 4. Not only that, I gave you increased attack damage and increasing both attack damage by a flat amount and by percentage base, and that would be because not here. Where is it? Yes, over here. 此伤害无视目标15%防守力 you are able to bypass 15% of the damage. So 15% of the damage you deal is technically true damage, and the rest of the 85 has to scale off of your attack. But the true damage amount being buffed by the amount of attack you have is incredibly powerful. which is why I wanted to put that particular flash card on him. Otherwise, if it were it not for the were it not for this interaction between the flashcards effect and this damage negation effect, defense negation effect, I would probably have stuck with the usual suspect. Let me lock this though. Let me lock this. Do I have to lock either of these? Maybe you. You're a good class to get Ning Guang. Zhong Zhuang, no, probably not you. You're interesting, but the only reason I picked E was because it had a attack boost over there. The rest of them attack boost, redeployment effectiveness, increased overall damage. These are all pretty good buffs to have, which is why I wanted to lock that chip. This one, it's for medics, and medics having higher attack means they heal better. So Ningguang is a great type of flash card / chip. Basically, this San Chun Ti is ideal for medics. It's also ideal for specialists. It's ideal for a bunch of different classes, including guards. And Memberton in this case benefits very well because he has a assassination talent. So if his attack is higher, then he can assassinate targets earlier. At least that's the idea going forward. This would be the group clear form. These flashcards make Memberton a group clear machine. If you swap it out for let me search it up. If you swap these out for 下期生存法则, which is this particular chip, he will turn into a skill monster. This particular chip increases attack speed by 15%, and since his skill benefits from having high attack speed, if you attack faster, you can use your skill more. So that is a chip that where is it? 下期生存法则. These chips are useful for him when you want to engage in long drawn out battles, while you want to engage in long drawn out battles without taking significant amounts of damage on yourself. Next up would be, let me think, which other flashcards work well on him. 无下童年, no, this is for defenders. This is almost exclusively for defenders. And let me think. Defenders and tacticians can use 无下童年 fairly well because what's that called? Defenders always need a lot of defense, and 无下童年's ability to grant 20 flat defense to like even your small summons is actually quite powerful. People just don't seem to understand that fairly well, but it's really powerful, even if it doesn't seem like it at first, because it's, you know, counterintuitive. Aside from that, 下路之勇, killing instinct, killing embrace, murderous embrace, whichever you prefer. This is an interesting chip as well, and you can see that this is very, very tailored for Memberton, which is the guy in the background right now. Attack speed increase, health keeps you healthier, attack, more attack, gives him more health and more overall damage done. This chip is insane for Memberton, which is why I kept it. But yeah, this particular chip type is interesting as well. It increases the amount of damage you deal by 30, while also giving you 40 true damage with every attack, every swing, which benefits with his what's it called? With his attack speed buff as well as his overall damage buff. This thing will buff the true damage that is dealt as well, so don't look down on it. It's really powerful. 杀戮之勇 is useful for units that have to attack a lot. So units that attack very quickly, like snipers, anti-air snipers, very lightweight snipers that attack quickly, they benefit from 杀戮之勇 very well because each individual attack will deal 40 true damage, which helps you to chip off a lot of the tougher enemies. Aside from snipers, let me think, what else could use 杀戮之勇? Let me think. 杀戮之勇. 杀戮之勇's third, what's it called, chip only buffs units that perform auto attacks. So if you have a unit that is very specialized in auto attacking, for example, oh no, not you. For example, there was this particular unit. I know I'm bringing a sniper again as another example, but this unit in particular, he has a very insane characteristic where he increases his attack speed like mad. So after 5 seconds of standing perfectly still to attack, in 5 seconds you increase it to 120% even without breakthroughs, increasing it to 150% at breakthrough 2, and breakthrough 4 brings it to 200%. This thing with 杀戮之勇 is insane. It shreds armor. The tanky enemies, the elephant enemies that snipers tend to have a difficult time handling, those sorts of enemies tend to melt right before him whenever you use 杀戮之勇 for that particular purpose. But right, I was still talking about Memberton, sorry about that. Aside from the killing instinct, killing embrace, 杀戮之勇 over here, another chip that's popular with Memberton is 毁灭者. This turns him into more of a duelist unit, where his attack is increased as well, and when he's engaged in combat, he increases the amount of damage he deals by 12% and reduces the amount of damage taken by 12%. So this sort of chip is very useful not only for guards like him, but also for defenders. Defenders in particular benefit very well from this. However, there's a small problem in that this one has a cooldown of 15 seconds. It makes you tankier for about 10 seconds, but then it goes on the cooldown for 15 seconds. So you can't rely on it. What's that called? You can't rely on it for a long drawn battle, which is why in some scenarios you want to use the 下期生存法则, the survival guide for the underworld survival guide. Would be a better alternative compared to this. This is when you this is when you expect or anticipate your unit to take damage, to be attacked by the enemy. Simply put, I have way too many of these chips. Hold on EDs for member turn, not so useful. It increases the max HP, yes, but member turn has a interesting mechanic to his kit that wants him to die. And this is best exemplified from Dao Feng, which is a knife edge. These chips are also great on member turn as well, because let me think. They increase his attack, they help him to come back faster, and they enable a sort of suicide bombing strategy on member turn. As you can see over here, when member turn dies, a radius of 2.5 units around him will suffer from 225 damage as a sort of last ride, as a sort of a death throw attack. So if you intend on using member turn for that purpose, I'm just saying it's possible to use him like that if you have a unit from the enemy side that happens to suicide. Suicidal enemies show up in some stages, not all of them, but let me bring up the bestiary. Actually, it might be easier to show that way. Compendium, enter. There was one particular monster that explodes. There we go. This guy, I think. Was it you? Wait, let me check. Yes, when it approaches the target, it will explode. Basically, it will detonate itself, dealing arts damage. 战争单元必要弹爆能通过自杀，引发高烈度精神力爆发。Unit B1 over here via the process of suicide is able to induce a high intensity ego energy explosion. 据说研爆的这种自爆设计诞生于勒维亚对自身不稳定肉体的讽刺性模仿。Basically just law about how it's mimicking the instability of Lowian bodies and so on. You have some enemies that tend to explode like that, which is why that particular playstyle of member turn is acceptable. There is no set way to build these chips. You just have to, work with the situation and react and respond accordingly. So don't feel bad if you, for example, don't have the recommended chips that the game suggests for you. Let me bring up an example. Let's say, for example, it says over here, oh, she would do best with this Terminator talent. Yeah, she can, but you must always consider alternatives. She's a tactics unit, and she benefits the most from it because she's the type of unit that focuses on buildings and structures. So she'll run in there towards structures and attack them, which is why she will anticipate a lot of attacks coming her way, and this becomes useful, yes. But in some stages where you don't have that sort of active presence, or you have other units like defenders drawing the aggro and blocking the enemy, stopping them from moving forward, your unit over here could in fact enjoy better experience. Could enjoy better utility by swapping out the flashcards for a situation that requires them to use it. I recommend you grind out the flashcard game because these flashcards are incredibly important. Do not waste any of them, except when you have an overwhelming abundance of them and you need to grind out some of them. Yes. You can see over here I have an example. I have a lot of these 毁灭者 chips. A lot of them. You can see how many of them I have. Just this particular video chip alone, all these V types, all these video type flashcards, I have I can't even count, 24. I think that's 5 times 4, 20, then that's 24. I have 24 of these video flashcards. I'm not even using most of them, but I only have one of them locked. I'm not even using most of them, but I still have them here. Why did I lock this? Because the what's it called, attack increase, I guess. And I was using it with Memberton the other time, as well as Tianjin, I think. But yeah, that's basically the game in a nutshell. You want to save up these chips, you want to plan out how you want to design your teams, how you should tackle each stage individually. I can give you pointers on like, what the flashcards do, how you can apply them. I can. It's sort of like a beginner's guide sort of thing. I'm feeling a high from managing to clear this story stage completely. Getting my completion game on. It feels good, but at some point you can't just sit by yourself and like let other people mouth over the game. You gotta share the information, help everyone pull themselves up. I'm going to regret this. Why am I doing this right now? I have no idea. I was just explaining flashcards and like how you can apply them creatively, but I'm just jumping in here without even planning out my team first. What am I doing? Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh wait, no, put you first. Build, put you next. That way she gains the attack buff. Let's nuke those. I don't want them to be a problem later on. Let's put some units here as well. Build up the DP. Put some units to support the top. Assassinate that guy. Chip him down. Make sure he can't do anything terrible later. She's going to die very soon. Balencia will have to hold the line for a while. Hopefully. I'll bomb this. I'm expecting a lot of units to be summoned here, so that's not necessarily a good idea, but I have no alternatives at this point. And they have a, what's it called? Bing Xuan. I don't remember her name. Oh god. What was your name again? Don't bother. My units are not leveled. Not strong enough. Not nearly strong enough. You can see over here, my flashcard strength is limiting, and my average unit level is not that high. Flashcard strength is very powerful. They can dramatically change how each unit behaves, performs, and applies themselves in stages, based on how you strategize and plot for them. It's important to think about. I think I've said that enough. I think I've said enough of that. But if you need, how do I say this? Because each unit is unique, you need to really think about how each unit behaves and so on. But I don't mind making like a sort of guide for like the units I have. Although I'm not like a big whale or anything like that who spends like a whole bunch of money and like have all the units at my disposal. If I did, I don't mind making like a comprehensive guide for every single character. I don't mind. That would be fun. Since I'm probably the only English speaking person who can do it for other people. Feels bad. That being said, it's a rough start at first, but you'll get there eventually. This game is it takes learning. And unfortunately, I think the learning aspect is a bit of a hurdle. Even what's that called? Even for people from the Taiwanese servers, it can be a bit of a how do I say this? Site of intimidation, I guess. People can feel a bit intimidated by the prospect. Well, in that case, I guess I'll just do some roguelike. Never hurt anybody to do some roguelike. Let's see, what's this one? 场上只有一个己方地格体或超体的时候 Oh my god! When you only have one unit, that unit's HP, defense, and arts increases by 100%. Hey yo, I've never tried that before. That seems fun. This has flying units. That's not such a good idea to test that map on. But this has flying units as well. No, I have an idea. I have an idea. Okay. Okay. You are obviously the best candidate for that strategy, but I want you to. What the hell's going on there? Oh God. Oh God. My God. Okay. Okay. I want to use fast redeploys for this map. For this map. Just this map, because I want to test out how powerful that particular buff is. Strengthening like the health, the defense, and the resistance of my unit like mad. Oh, it doesn't increase attack though, does it? No, it doesn't. If it doesn't increase attack, I might not be so incentivized to try that method so much. I'll keep some insurance units just in case everything goes south. But having you for dealing with the troublesome enemies is good enough. I'm going to try. Whew, that sounds fun. When you only have one unit, the unit gets super buffed. This is my first time playing this sort of method. This is my first time trying this sort of strategy for this particular map type. And because Yuling over here hurts like a truck, she's excellent for this map. Can I take out the flyers? I cannot take out the flyers. That's okay. I'll have to nuke them with you. Beep. Okay, that's good. She's still alone. She's still benefiting from the buff. Look at that. They're not touching her at all. They try and try, but they're not even close to breaking through. Oh, it's beautiful. Well, as beautiful as that is, it's time to end the dream. Give me some DP. Very nice, perfect. Let's nuke. Let's nuke these guys. Oh, they flew away. Ah, that sucks. It always happens like this. That thing's just going all the way towards my base. No care. No care or concern. Just waltzing over there towards my base. Like it's free real estate or something like that. Alright, let's nuke these guys. Break them apart. I love how Yaston can gain her DP so quickly with one of the relics. It really helps you to bring out your full team in a way that would normally be impossible in normal regular stages. Her guitar's already back. Look at that. It's beautiful. Yaston Vanguard form with that one relic that increases the amount of energy you regain per second. That is broken. That's fairly broken. Well, most of the purple relics are fairly broken by their own rights and regards, but let's not go too far on that. Let me see. Reduce amount of damage taken by my own units. This causes all defenders and guard units to weaken the defenses and arts of enemy units by 30%, but it cannot stack. I will take this, I think. I will take this. I will use this again. I wish to... not you. That seems okay. That seems okay as well. And maybe you? Maybe you. I mean, where is that buff? You, right? When it's larger than 10, so I don't really need all my units to be like more expensive, so that's fine for me. What's that one again? 部署最多生效一次，回送到赛旁。Huh. All units that are not production units or super bodies, when they die, they 传送回要赛旁. So the moment they die, they sort of reload themselves without having the penalty of what's the word I'm looking for? what's the word I'm looking for? So when they die, they go back to the bottom bar, and they are ready for deployment, sort of. But this doesn't seem to work with specialists. I'm guessing because the specialists I was using, Helai as well as Ishanto, they technically didn't drop their HP bar to 0, so they haven't taken lethal damage. But even so, I don't think the scenario is likely enough for that to occur anytime soon, so I'm going to trade that away. This causes... When there are no enemies near the units, their attack speed increases by 80%. This is very good for ranged units like gunboats, snipers and casters. This one, the first time you put a unit who's 8 cost and above, the HP value of the unit increases by 300%, but you're unable to deploy that unit ever again. That sounds incredibly good on some units. Some. Such as, for example, Yuling, which is the large spirit girl that I featured earlier. Seems like it's a good fit for her, but at the same time, I'm not willing to take that gamble, I think. The ability to redeploy units in a long-drawn battle against enemies that attack very offensively, that is something that is treasured. You should not be so quick to abandon that sort of advantage. This one is 每秒回复最大生命值负5%，持续5秒，每次部署只能一次。This when your HP drops to beneath 25%, you start recovering 5% health. Could be useful, so I will keep it. This cheapens my medic. I might make that go away. After deploying for 30 seconds, gain 10 DP. That seems useful actually. But then again, I can technically get my team down very quickly with Yaston, so that might not be as useful. Yaston really speeds up the amount of units I can put down. This is good. This one's good. Oh, look at that. 每个地格体首次部署时费用负2。The first deployment for every battle, the first deployment costs 2 cheaper, which is the first deployment of the unit costs 2 less, I guess. Oh no. Wait, no, that's fine. I was scared for a moment that there was a relic that increased the cost of my units by 2, which would synergize incredibly well with this particular relic. But I traded it off. Oh dear. Oh crap. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, on your next battle, let me explain what this is. Wu Ranyuan, the cause of corruption, the source of the corruption. Basically, you've entered a terrible node where everything is bleak. The conditions are terrible. Your units are like suffering. They have difficulty breathing and so on. You're in like the root of the corruption of where like the Loweyans were born, and you have to decide between one of these two. The next battle, the initial DP you have is reduced by 5. For the next battle, all of your units will reduce 20% max HP. I will take this one because I have I have this particular talent to offset that problem. This increases all units HP by 50%, so technically it just changes it to 30% boost. I'm not sure if it's additive or not, but yeah, that's something for you to think about. The amount I'm boosting is greater than the amount that it's cutting away, I think, which turns it into a net positive, which is not bad. I think I've cleared this stage before. Yes, I've also failed this stage before last time during my last recording because the difficulty was way too high. I've decided to take a slightly lower difficulty, at least for a while, because I want to build up the amount of these boxes that I can gain, basically. Yeah, these. I think I'm here right now, so what's that called? The first level, when I'm doing it on extremely hard difficulty. Wait, no. Yes, when I'm doing on hard difficulty, the first box I get will always be purple. Second box will either be purple or yellow. The third box will always be yellow, because I'm doing it on a challenge mode. I am debating on whether or not I want to climb to this level, where all of my boxes are golden, but the enemies and the map layouts are incredibly difficult. My how do I say this? My teams are not that strong yet, so I want to refrain from that where possible. At least until my team is more, how do I say this? At least until my team is strong enough to handle every of the third level risks without problems. Then I'll consider transiting upwards, because although I like having better rewards, I also need to make sure that I can clear the content. Otherwise, it's kind of wasted time, wasted effort, and these things will never get completed. So, last time I failed on this map. This time I'm much stronger. This time I'm way stronger. So I don't mind attempting this map again. And I don't have the... What's that risk that I had? That calls all of my that calls all enemies on the field to take damage. I had a risk like that, which really screwed up the run, I think, because it preemptively forced the bottom lane to walk towards me, and I had to divest resources downwards towards the bottom lane to hold off their attacks. And that, more than anything, was the run killer. Much more than any other part of that particular stage. The fact that I had to divert resources, I couldn't get a sizable force in the top to nuke down the enemies reliably. Everything went to crap there, and that's fine. Beep, boop. What was that from? Beep, boop, boop, bop, boop, boop, bop. That SpongeBob, right? I'm remembering SpongeBob for some reason. I have no excuse. Perfect. Alright, I want Sun over here because these guys are weak to arts. They are not weak to physical at all, which is a problem. I'm going to nuke these guys. I might retreat Yaston just so I have a DP printer. I don't want her to die. She's very valuable. Put you down so you can start making machines to hold the line. Keep printing DP. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, now Yulin can get down there and start attacking the enemies. What the? Oh, Yaston died. That's why I can't use the skill, because she died there. Feels bad. Okay, nuke these things. Make sure they can't come back. Put you down. Keep up the pressure. Make sure that everyone suffers. What the heck? Make sure that everyone suffers. Make sure that everyone suffers. What the hell am I on? Anyway, yeah. This stage is much easier when that AoE map damaging that map damaging support buff that I had wasn't present. That was actually a counterproductive choice on my part to gain that sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Taking that sort of support buff was actually a mistake, since it can preemptively trigger problems like that. I am not sure if that's intended on the game's part or if that is something else, but I will have to, consult people on Discord on that, whether or not it's a bug or not. Let me see. Within 8 seconds of deployment, all units gain 50% damage amplification. I might take this one. Actually, no. I want my units to stay on the field for a long period of time, so this one might be the go-to. Or this one. This one. This might be good. That says if you have three or more units on the board, you will be able to If you have 3 or more units on the board, you'll be able to reduce the attack damage of the enemies by... Wait, which one was it? Yes, you'll be able to reduce the attack damage taken by your units by 20%, which is pretty good. I'm going to just clear this stage because I have this habit of stocking up. Actually, no, I'm not gonna use your support this time. I want to use someone else's support. Someone from my friends list, maybe. Mortanati, no. Mortanati. Okay, this guy wants matcha latte. No, wait, that's latte. This is not latte. What? What? 阿平来了，非洲来的孩子。What's it called? 阿平 has arrived. Child from Africa. 不可以色色 don't be horny. Some of these names kill me. Lore, I don't know who Lore or Lore is. Hei Long, Black Dragon. Uya, Crow, fairly straightforward. Yuan Ping, original bottle. Lo Chen. Leo Chan. I'm not sure. Whatever. Aldi. Audi. OLTI, I'm not sure. Let's see. Lang Jing. Kind of reminds me of waves, I guess. Lang Jing. Okay. 保属这个 I have no idea how to translate this. It's a song about 保属, but I don't think there's an English word for 保属. Is there? I have to check. Vegetables, help, nexus, storm, Bapa. I don't know what Bapa is. Red Knight, Philiat, Philiat. I don't know. Is Feliat a name? Zhang, basically just his name. 八只鸟不受惊犯罪 Roland 悠悠朗明Paulina 双弯骑士 double bending twin bending knight twin bow knight I guess twin bow knight. What kind of name is this? Ignog. Oh, Ignog. Oh, wait, is that how you is that how Ignog is spelled? I don't know. Is that how people spell Ignog? That drink you have in the Christmas time, right? I don't know. Someone tell me if this is pronounced eggnog or something. 我会玩很久. I will play for a very long time. I will take you up on that. I will play for a very long time. I shall believe in your words. I have a feeling my faith is going to be misplaced. Don't talk about it. We don't talk about Fight Club. Oh god. Okay. 幽灵杀 Spirit, one swipe was all it took to convert that thing. Goes to show how overpowered she is, at least in this scenario. Get you down, start generating DP. Start putting down the rest of the units. The first unit I want to put... Oh, that was only a good. I tapped too early. Sad. The first unit I want to get down is you. So I want to be able to use you a lot. Over here, Tianyi is going to start generating units to help out with the war effort. Over here, I'm going to put what's her name, Libero. Libero will help to snipe down the boss. That's good. Next, I'm going to put San at the top lane in case the boss spawns those things. I'm going to use what's his name. I'm going to use He Lai to nuke the boss briefly. That is a lot of numbers. I almost missed that. I pretty much missed that. Never mind, the boss melted before I could panic. Did I mention how much I love this game mode? Yeah. Okay, I've beaten the boss. Once I click this treasure, I'll get one of these. But since I already have 3 of them, I am not going to do so. I will click this after one of these. At least this one gets consumed. You know, once the time for this one, in 12 hours when this becomes available for collection, I'll just collect it and then I'll claim this yellow box. As for whether or not I'm moving up to the higher levels, let me show you what my team is right now. At least, let me show you how my teams have developed. I am currently looking at about that's 7, 11. I have about 11 of these units who are at least level 90. My goal is to have at least 20 of them at level 90. Preferably 2 from each class. So I'm going to have EDC and probably Hati or Yaren raised up to level 91, and then I'm going to probably raise Qianyi down up to level 91 as well. Huali over here, I'm probably going to raise Sifu or Diamond or Laman to level 91. Over here, I just need to raise Guren over here to level 91. Fairly straightforward. Tersen, I think I'm good already. I just need to give these two a bit more levels before I proceed. I also want to level up Suna because she's going to be very useful in later stages. Suna especially is very powerful because she basically can ignore 40% of the defense that enemies have. So whatever buffs that applied for... where was he? No. Whatever buffs I spoke of with Helai, it's going to be that much more lethal with Suna. Especially with that higher scaling defense ignore. So her chips, right now I'm using this one because her level's not that high, but once she gets her level 90 and unlocks her third flash card slot, she's probably going to get the same treatment as you, in that she's going to get an insane amount of these Ni Guang chips. In fact, I might straight up take these these Ni Guang chips and give it to her. Just straight up give it to Suna. She is lethal. Her Lai is more useful when you have a lot of enemies, swarms of enemies. And if you remember S6-8, which is this particular stage, the enemies tend to come in swarms because you have units like these at the far corners over here, along with Glitney and Tianyi over here summoning units all the time. So the first thing I did in this stage was that I just used Her Lai to deal a large amount of damage to units here. I used Her Lai to deal damage to enemies here, and then I used Hei Liang, the girl with the 2.5 radius, to damage all the enemies here as well. These two bombardments would kill off Tianyi and send Bolunxie over here to to the Phoenix state. So she'll lose HP, she'll take 8 seconds to recover all the way back up to 100%. And in that time where their attacking front is weakened, I put my vanguards down. I basically put all 3. I put my friends Yu Xiao, I put Ao Ao, I put Yaston. I also tried to put Ni Selin, but Ni Blin, and I B with the red colored block around it. I also tried to put Ni Blin over here to hold off the line. And while they were holding off and generating DP, there will be reinforcements coming in here and reinforcements coming in here. I used Her Lai to deal with these ones, and I also use my own Bolunxie over here to start dealing AoE damage to that. And when Hei Liang comes back, I'll use her to deal with the enemy Ni Selin as well as the 2 high damaging snipers at the back. After that, it's smooth sailing. without those damage dealers picking off my vanguards, they more or less can tank the large teddy bear looking dragon, this guy here. His attack is high, yes, but he doesn't actually deal as much damage as these guys. These guys are the ones that are lethal. Yeah, his attack is high, sure, but he doesn't really deal that much damage because these guys, A, they're ranged, B, they attack quickly. This guy takes forever to swing like one. In the time he takes to swing one, these guys attack 3 times. Don't be fooled. His attack is higher in value, but these guys deal more damage. Never underestimate this game. The stats here suggest otherwise, but never underestimate this game. Okay. After you beat these crossbowmen over here and the Niselin over here, there will be one of these guys, I think. Yes, one of these Kang Tao sitting over here. He only has 2 HP states. By the time we reach him, push past this teddy bear and reach this guy over here, I use Suna to chip down his HP to like near death, and then all the vanguards have to do is give him a light tap, and then all of them can start swarming down into that region. You have a very short time frame to beat this stage with 3 stars because you need to do it in 60 seconds. So that is the preferred strategy if you are going with it using that method. This is the team in question. Let me just rearrange them so you understand better. He Lai over here first, He Liang second, you're all the way at the back, don't worry about that. You are deployed last. Guden over here is deployed at the very last. She will come in after most of the threats are gone. You are all the way at the back as well. No, these 2 sword positions, okay. Somewhat like this, yes. So He Lai at first will go down, and He Liang will follow up, dealing with the bottom summoners. Then borrow a friend's Yu Xiao, this guy over here. Use Niselin and use use Yaston's Vanguard form. That would she would have come up by then, and you have around 2 DP if you follow through with this method so far. And if you try and push through the enemy space, basically, if you can deploy Niselin, you should. Otherwise, put Alulu down on the bottom lane to help pick off the snipers. The enemy snipers in this particular stage have very high defense, I believe. Was that the one? Yes. These guys have very high resistance, so you want to deal with them using physical snipers, basically. Yeah, that's more or less it. That's basically describing what I did over here. As you can see, it's in order. The units that I deploy are in order, and just follow what I've explained earlier. You'll get there. Hopefully you'll be able to clear this with 3 stars as well. I'm sorry I couldn't get that on recording. I'm just tired, I guess. I'm just really tired. But the nice thing is all of these are 3 stars, and I can smile because I like OC. I have a tendency towards the OCD. Right. That aside, maybe I should cover a bit more on like the story. But there's really not much left. I mean, I've already read like the first few chapters, and like the reading on recording is just because the live stream tends to get a bit too toxic, so I have to do it recording style. Otherwise everyone will just like, flame here, flame there, start bombarding X and bombarding Y with like messages, and like everyone starts complaining about like, I don't know, modern politics, and like, I'm right, you're wrong, everyone's awful, and it's just a terrible time to be. It's just a terrible time to be. Niselin over here has a bleed effect. I don't think I will raise her that high. I mean, yeah, I appreciate it as much as anyone else, but I don't think I need to use Niselin that much. The thing with it is that Niselin over here has, what's that called? Her skill over here refunds 3 DP as well as 15 energy at pot 6. but I don't think this amount ever increases to 4. I don't think it ever increases to 4, and the fact that Yaston's guitar form over here can refund 4, that makes her so much more powerful. Not only does she refund 4, but she also refunds like 15 of this. If you use Yaston religiously, if you use her enough. Oh, there's no guitar performance. Oh, there is. You hear the guitar there. You heard it. You only hear the guitar. You don't see her drumming or performing. Maybe she just stands perfectly still while doing it. kind of sad. Anyway, thing with this is that over here she's able to refund a lot of these DP, and it's very quick. In fact, depends, I guess. You don't want to use this during PvP. In PvP, Vanguard Yaston is actually fairly weak, but in terms of what's it called? In terms of Shanchun, where is it? In terms of Shanchun Jice, which is this particular roguelike mode, you want to use her because there are relics that can super accelerate the amount of what's that called? Amount of DP that she can generate. I think it's this one. Yes, there we go. 源泉活水. Basically spring, no, how do I say this? Life spring, I guess. A spring of life. It's a very active sort of hot spring sort of effect. When you have 3 units and above on the field, all units will gain 8 energy per second. And when you consider Yaston's design over here, let me just move this up to, oh, not you, go away, you, there we go. When you see Yaston over here, she's basically gaining 13 every second. So in a span of about 7 to 8 seconds, she'll be able to use this, as opposed to waiting 20 seconds whenever you want to use that skill. Waiting 20 seconds for one chance to gain 4 DP versus waiting 7 seconds for 1 chance to gain 4 DP. That is insane. You have no idea how insane that is. Fresh chef's kiss, I swear. It's beautiful. Anyway, it says over here, 轻型形态铜在编队中时会提升队伍中所有地个体10点初始能量. When she's in the squad, all units that are deployed will gain a passive 10 energy for their skills. And the second one over here, when you have her potential 2, which is this madman, if you can somehow get like this second one here, by whatever means necessary, I don't know what means you plan on using for that, but Yaston is one of the strongest units, but also one of the most expensive to build. So yeah, if you happen to have her at potential 2, you'll be able to gain 1 DP whenever you deploy her. Not very powerful. Not very powerful at all. Namely because you only ever get to deploy her once in the stage. You see, Yaston's forms can only last on this. No, Yaston's forms can only be used once per stage. Let's say you have a very long fight, a very extended battle of like 20 minutes. I don't know what stage you'll be playing to fight for 20 minutes. It's just an example. But if you take 20 minutes to fight a stage, Yaston will run out of all 3 forms if you're not careful. Basically, she could use up, for example, her first. She could use up this specialist form. Oh, that looks nice. Oh, that looks real nice. Ooh. Oh, she even spins. That's cute. Okay, if you use up if you use her up and then she immediately retreats or something, then makes you put like a sniper, but like the enemy, what's it called? The enemy is right near your tower and they destroy it. You're forced to put but you're forced to put like your last form, and the medic just happens to get stunned, and this Yaston also dies. Once all three of them are down, you can't use Yaston in that stage ever again. So these sorts of buffs not that helpful. At least the buff for the Vanguard form is not that helpful, not at all. The others, well, I haven't exactly checked myself, but I would say that the others will have questionable amounts of usefulness, I suppose. This one for the guard form, I just realized, that I never really talked in depth about Yaston in my sort of interaction guide, so I may as well make up for it right now. So, if you gain potential 2 for her guard form, 同在场上战斗5秒，同在场上战斗5秒后会被激发。攻速提高20%，最高生命值提高10%，持续整局战门。After being deployed for 5 seconds, she becomes She becomes energized, and her attack speed increases by 20%. Her max HP increases by 10%, and this lasts for the entire duration, the entire battle. Very powerful, but also very costly, because you'll be trading like 60 of the red colored cubes that are very hard to come by, just to obtain this one ability to buff your guard form. The guard form, debatable strength, I think. While it is powerful by some standards, it's also quite vulnerable, I think, because the defense of the guard form isn't that high. The guard form only has like 281 defense. Sure, the others have like lesser defense, like 152, 161, and so on. But these two forms have a lot more defense, and so they have a lot more chance to survive. If that buff were on the Vanguard form, it would be sick. If this buff could apply for the Vanguard form, that would be insane. You have no idea how insane that is. That's sex. Okay. If you get a breakthrough for the sniper Yaston, you will increase her attack range by 2, and her normal attacks will bypass 15% will ignore 15% of the enemy's defense. Insane upgrade, but again very expensive, which is why I didn't trade for it. Defender from Yaston. 铜的下一次普攻命中时将会目标循昏2秒，该特是有9秒的冷却时间。The next attack by Yaston will stun the enemy for 2 seconds, and it has a 9-second cooldown. That is insane, actually. You would most likely be using the defender form of Yaston the most, because A, nobody really likes building their own defenders unless forced to, or unless they're forced to, or unless it's Kirika. That says a lot, because defenders are one of the worst classes to build for in this game, since the design of the stage is contradictory. You want to clear the stage as fast as possible. The defenders have high HP and can't deal damage, so you can survive enemy attacks, yes, but you won't have enough firepower to clear the stage. Defenders are in an awkward position in this game, which is why having an ability to stun the enemy for 2 seconds entirely, that is insane. And the defender from Yaston is probably the one you'll be using the most. Just saying. Okay, over here, 铜的每第5次普攻会制造一个较短时间的精神场域，持续1秒。Every 5th attack of Yaston will create a tiny ego energy field on the region. It will last for 1 second. As compared to her usual energy field from her skill, which will last for 3 seconds. So it just makes her hurt better. It just makes her hurt the enemy better. and with more efficiency, I suppose. This one's very straightforward. You deploy her, you gain 1 DP. Well, that's not bad. If you don't expect her Vanguard form to survive for very long, this might be good. If you expect her to survive for very long, this doesn't feel like a big upgrade, since you'll be generating a lot more with your guitar than you will be from this particular talent. Sometimes, I guess, some stages will require that sort of pinpoint precision where you desperately need that sort of buff, or what's that called? You desperately need that kind of buff, or you desperately require the DP just to get a defensive unit down near your tower, I guess. If that's any way to apply Yaston's to apply Yaston's Vanguard form and its gearing, I suppose. It's so weird. All of these have these characteristics shown, but I can't seem to find one for this. Oh no, it's there. Why can't I find one for you? That's so weird. That is so weird. Maybe it doesn't increase this, but increases something else. 特审形态同在编队中时，会提升队中所有敌个体60点防守穿透。This one is interesting. When you bring the specialist form of Yaston along on the stage, every unit you have will gain defense penetration. Defense penetration of 60, so it's like everyone having a permanent 杀戮之勇, I suppose. But the 杀戮之勇 that I'm referring to for this particular Yaston form applies for everything, not just for your normal attacks. Applies for everything, which is fairly good, I guess. I'm guessing the value here just gets increased or something with the... Oh, no, this one's the one that gets increased. Okay, select one region to deploy Yaston. Yaston's blade, what's that called? 剑气 Blade energy, I guess? 会对方围内所有单造成一次攻击力65%的真实伤害。You drop Yaston down, she'll have a small radius where she deals 65% true damage. 65% true damage. So it's not a flat number. You want her attack to be as high as possible for this to benefit. But when you get this form, it's going to start at level 1 and it'll take a lot of resources to raise her. But yeah, I'm guessing this is where the specialist form differs from the regular Yaston, in that instead of having a passive here being buffed, it buffs her skill directly, since the specialist form likely just drops in there and disappears in 5 seconds. That is a joke. I'll tell you about the joke later. Okay. 并对该范围当前生命值最低的单位造成攻击力195的物理伤害。And within that radius of 65% true damage, the unit with the lowest health will also suffer from 195% of her attack damage. 若剑气造成击杀，则5秒内可以此处继续点击，同会再次触发一次攻击，最多是发3次。If If this blade wave kills the enemy, you may select the region. No, you may tap the region again within 5 seconds. Yaston will apply another attack, and you can do this a maximum of 3 times. 铜的斩杀失败或斩满3次后，依然会自动触发一次连续的攻击。If Yaston fails her assassination, or she uses this particular assassination trick 3 times, she will attack one. Let me see. 触发一次连续的攻击 she'll unleash one automatic attack. I'm guessing it's that. Where is it? I'm guessing it's this one. This one where she swings, or this one. This might be the attack that they're referring to. This 连续的攻击. After that, then she retreats, and you don't see her ever again. And yeah, it's a joke with the upcoming skin, in fact, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. I'll read this a little bit. 波利之门, the gate of Bodli, I guess. Oh, this one increases with what's it called? With potentials as well. Okay. 选择一个圆形目标区域 select one region select one target region with radius of 2同会每秒治疗区域内生命值百分比最低的我方单位攻击85%生命值共治疗3次会重新选择目标She puts down an area where she heals ally units and every second she will apply 85% of her attack as healing to a target within the range and will do this 3 times. Basically last 3 seconds sort of. When she's potential 4, she'll perform the healing every 0.5 seconds and she'll heal a maximum of 6 seconds. So the amount of duration that this Bodli gate rests on the floor is the same, but what's that called? What's the word I'm looking for? But the rate of healing increases by 2, I guess. No, the rate of healing increases by 100%, which is pretty good. Which is pretty good. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, all of Yason's forms have what's that called? All of Yason's forms have like additional buffs to them. It's not just like the first potential, but the first potential tends to be one of the biggest ones, since these things are expensive. So getting here is more or less a wet dream unless you are completely specialized in like getting just the art form potentials. All of these forms have so much to that. Yaston is such a powerful unit, but she's also the most expensive unit to build. I'm in pain. You can't simp for best waifu when best waifu makes you spend so much money that even a whale wouldn't want to spend it. Okay, I've goofed around enough. I hope you've enjoyed this session of a Coalish. Let me know if there are any of these units that you'd like me to cover. Just just tell me, defenders 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell me which one you want me to cover. Guards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Snipers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's that called? Arts units 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Specialists 1 to 8. Medics 1 to 7. Tactics 1 to 6. What's that called? Supports 1 to 6. As well as vanguards 1 to 4. Just put in the comment section or something if you want to see me cover any of these units in depth. I'll go over them. I'll probably compile a list, go over them, and we can talk a bit more in depth on like these units, how you can use them, where you should use them, what chips, what flashcards go with them, and etc. Alright, I'll see you then. If anyone's even keen on this game, because this game has terrible reception for some reason. I'm guessing because people just don't like this style of game anymore. It's fun though, and it's a great game if you're like a student who wants to do revision and so on, but you can't pay too much attention on the game. You can just let the auto deploy clear all the stages for you while you study. It's a very relaxing game. It has side game potential, but it also has main game potential depending on how much you wish to invest into the roguelike mode or the 协同预言, which is the sort of bossing arena, I guess. It has potential to be both. So up to you on how how you want to see this stage, whether you want to approach this stage or not. I'll see you next time, I suppose. May as well tell you what I'm going to do next time. My goal right now is to raise everything from here, Nisseling, all the way up to here, EDC, at least up to level 91. These two as well, in fact, Heiliang and Helai, they'll reach level 91. I will have more than just 9 of these units above 90. Ideally, I want to have 20 units above level 91, at least level 91. So I'm guessing that aside from these, let me see, aside from these 15 units I have mentioned so far, I'm probably going to raise some of the Baiduren over here to level 91 as well. I will probably have to raise Xie back to level 91. I don't hate her, but the nerf was, I never even knew that was a thing. I never even knew this bug was a thing, but it apparently is. Probably going to raise Yaren as well. She has it's a boy. It's a boy, right? Hang on, let me check. You're a boy? You are a boy. Yes, you're a male. He has a interesting stun and he has an interesting stun and disable ability where he stops the unit from using their skills. Very useful for bosses, also very useful for PvP, especially during the faction wars boss, I suppose. Very powerful unit. As for you, you're a female, yes, confirmed. Alright, Sasha over here, she attacks buildings exclusively. Very interesting unit. Might not build you that much, but it's nice that you skill off of your defensive power. So the more defense you have, the stronger you actually are. Which is why you want this Wuxia Tongnian chips. Sadly, I don't think I've ever found like a proper Wuxia Tongnian chip that buffs defenders. Look at this. Not a single defender. What's that called? Not a single defender inside, except for you. You're like the only defender chip I have of Wuxia Tongnian. The rest of them are like vanguards, guards, support, arts, tacticians. Only have like two decent Wuxia Tongnian chips, and they're not that good. Oh boy. Where is it? Here we are. Okay, there we go. These are like the only defender chips I have, which are only defender chips I have which buff defense, sort of. They don't even buff defense. They buff like resistance. This one buffs defense, but only for Kirika. This one buffs defense, but it buffs Kirika more. So if I ever get Kirika, this is a hands down. This chip hands down has to stay with me, at least until I get like a better 6-star chip, which will likely never happen since defenders are such an awkward class in this game. Aside from that, I'm also raising you upwards to what's it called, Breakthrough 3 as well. Going to get your new form. Going to increase your your scissoring skill as well. Her scissoring skill is interesting because once it activates here, she does this cleaving sweep and applies a mark on the enemies that, weaken them. Over here, units that are cursed by Danmasi lower their defenses for about 15% for about 3 seconds, and then over here will be reducing by 35%. It's percentage decrease of defense, which is very powerful. Very powerful. It is very powerful. You wanna know why? Alulu here only ever reduces defense by set numbers. But in this game, percentage scaling scales much harder than flat scaling. Flat scaling only works if you're using like units with incredibly low stats, like defenders with like horrible attack. Both horrible attack and horrible attack speed, those are the only units that benefit from like flat numbers. Otherwise, you want percentages. Percentage. That's the name of the game. I'll see you next time. That's more or less my goal. I'm going to raise up these units. I'm also going to raise up what I already have. Bye-bye for real this time.